Hello. I'm Emily Margaret Austin Brian Perry. The reason you may know my last name Austin is because my oldest brother Stephen Fuller and my dad Moses, but I have a younger brother James E.B. But me and Stephen were the only ones that integrated to Texas along with 6 out of my 11 children from 2 husbands named James Bryan 1788-1822, and James Franklin Perry, 1824 forever. I had 4 sons and 1 daughter from one, and my second husband I had 3 daughters and 3 sons. My oldest son from my second marriage is going to talk about his siblings and his life. Goodbye, son.
Hello there. My name's Stephen Samuel. Oldest and longest living of my siblings, but youngest living out of my living half-siblings and the second generation to run and own Peach Point Cemetery after my parents died. I had the pleasure of going to Texas with my full-blooded siblings Eliza Marguerite and Henry Austin, and my half-siblings Moses Austin, William Joel and Guy Morrison. I lived till 50 years of age. My full-blooded sister that lived till adulthood was 34 years of age. My full-blooded brother was 22 years of age. Then my half-siblings were 78, 80 and 88 years old when they passed, but we had siblings all together that were 3 weeks and 5 days to 16 months old when they died. But I got married to a wonderful woman named Sarah McLean Brown on April 5, 1853, and we had a precious son named James Franklin. Here you Thank you, Father. Hello there. I'm James Franklin II. My parents are Stephen Samuel and Sarah McLean Brown. I'm also one out of 11 siblings, which my father failed to mention. I'm the oldest, which means I had to watch Alan of Los Enjoy. 3 out of my 10 siblings I never got the privilege to grow up with. My brothers both were named Stephen Samuel. One was 4 months, 1868, and another was 9 months, 1869, then my sibling Hiriam Brown was 4 months, 1858, then some sisters that unfortunately left before their time of 14 and 5 years old, Rosanna Estelle and Sarah Annie. Then the middles and youngest were 45 to 87 when their time was up. My siblings were Henry Austin, Charles Brown, Emmett Lee, Emily Margaret and Mordello Stephen. I sadly was just 20 years old when I was left to tend to my younger siblings and third generation to run Peach Point Cemetery. I met and married a woman named Catherine Henrietta, and together we had 3 wonderful children: Stephen Samuel II, Henry Austin III, and Catherine Weisinger. And now I'd like to introduce my oldest.
Hi. As my dad said, I'm Stephen S. the second, and during my life I had married a lovely woman named Carilla Hawes, and we had 2 amazing children, May Hawes and Stephen Samuel III. During my time I inherited the family's cemetery, which is Peach Point, and I was the proud 4th generation runner and owner. Now you get to hear.
Thanks, Steve. I am 9th generation down from Emily Austin, and I have 2 sisters named Fred and Devin. Fred is 22, and Devin is 18, and I am 22. Then we have my mom and my aunt. They named her Kimmy and Kelly. And Kelly married my uncle named Doug. And then they had my cousins, Perry and Preston. My mom married my dad, who's named Bradley. And now you guys are gonna hear from my great-grandpa.
Thanks, Jay. Hi, my name's James Franklin, the fourth. I am sixth generation from Emily, so my granddaughters are eighth and my wonderful daughters are the seventh generation. I have three, my oldest Linda, then my middle child Barbara, and my youngest Sarah, but I married their wonderful mother Sarah Wren Medlock before they came along, and during my time I was in Special Forces. I worked under President Nixon. I had four siblings who are named Nancy Laura, Neil Turner, Sarah Adelia, and William Burnett. My daughter Linda married a guy named Rolly, and my other daughter Sarah married a guy named Daniel, and they had two daughters named Jamie and Tricia. Jamie married a time traveler named Phil, and Tricia...
Meet a boy named Phil and his family on vacation from the 22nd century.
Tricia married a man named Red, and now you get to hear from my father James Franklin III.
Hello up there. I'm James Franklin III, the fifth generation down. I have 8 siblings. 2 are called infant. A sister is Annie Cochran. Brothers are Henry A. Brian Lamar, Ashton, and my sisters are Sarah and Fanny. Stephen Samuel 1868 is cousins to my son James Franklin IV, and my son's cousins' kids' names are Stephen Samuel and Emily Margaret. And now here's my father Henry Austin II.
Hello, I'm Henry Austin II. My parents are Stephen Samuel and Sarah McLean Brown. My siblings are James Franklin, Hiriam Brown, Charles Brown, infant, Rosanna Estelle, Emmett Lee, Emily Margaret, Stephen Samuel, Sarah Ann, and Mordello Stephen. That's 10 siblings in total. I married a wonderful woman named Lucy Marshall Turner. I am the 4th generation, so we made a full circle. I hope you learned something.